Guys, no one can accept you if you don't accept yourself. You have to understand with the conformity is that when you conform, you're leaving a void space within yourself. Because what you're doing is exchanging your authentic self, your authentic expression for what you believe you should be expressing. And so what you're doing is you're exchanging authenticity for validation. And so you have to understand that validation does not mean anything. It's not valuable, because validation is simply the projection of value, but it doesn't have to be valuable, because you can validate someone in their inadequacy, which they reverberate, instead of confronting those aspects and actually doing some shit to change some shit. And so validation in itself is meaningless, because you can validate someone for being nothing but the worst. And so when it comes down to the conformity, and when you conform, well, you have to understand that you're going to be changing and exchanging authenticity for validation. And so when it comes down to the conformity, no one can accept you if you don't accept yourself. And if you're not valid yourself, if you're not validating yourself through your conduct, well, then it's safe to say that you're not a valuable character. You don't have the ability to be valuable if you are expressing your potential in ways that are detrimental to yourself. Because most people, what they do is they validate themselves through others, because they don't believe they're valid enough to validate themselves. And so when we wake up at that early ass wake up, when we wake up and hit the gym, when we wake up and we apply ourselves to life in the most diligent of manners, well, these are the things that validate us as individuals. The conduct of which we express is what validates us as a character, and this will lead to high self-esteem. This will lead to the cultivation of self-love. This will lead to things which are valuable to ourselves in life. And so when it comes down to the conformity game, conforming is very useless, and it doesn't fucking matter, because what you're doing is you're exchanging your authentic personal value system for some shit you believe you should be doing, which is simply the byproduct of shitty programming, shitty subconscious programming, because you have not yet got to that level where you believe that you are your own architect. You are the architecture of your life. And so when you don't have that level, that capacity, that bandwidth of using your mind to the degree of filtering reality to the level where you can express yourself at the most authentic and genuine level, when you have to conform, what you're basically saying is, I'm not valuable enough, and I'm not intelligent enough to take control over myself. I'm not powerful enough to take control over myself. I need someone else to validate me for something, so I feel like I'm valuable. And this is a very dangerous thing, because once you take away the validation, you no longer feel that value. You no longer feel valuable as an individual. You no longer feel valued. And so the problem with validation and constantly needing that to feel valid is that you're exchanging your personal authentic self for some shit which can be concocted by any fucking body anywhere, which makes it very undervalued. It's an undervaluable thing. It's not valuable at all, because anyone can validate you. It's not rare. It's not like you showing up to the gym, you showing up to the workout, you showing up to the macros, you showing up in life for yourself, which is a valuable thing, because now you're actually improving, now you're actually developing, and you're actually doing it in a way which is representing the results, because you taking that action is the result. You showing up and giving it your all is the result. And so it's about showing up and giving life your all to the fullest, and allowing yourself to develop and to validate yourself through development, instead of always needing fucking validation. It's that fucking simple. Peace.